Yo, what is up everybody? Jumpin here, and today I'm going to be giving you my take on what I want to see in the future for Mass Effect 4. Now I need to give a quick shout out to Shio Paul, Ballin Man, and D James for leaving these comments and suggesting this idea. Now I guess the first thing I should say is that what I want them to do and what they're going to do is totally two separate things. So this is all speculation. This is all just what I want. And there's a very good chance that they're not going to do it. Recently they actually released a couple screenshots that you can kind of see in the background, like a little bit of what's going on. And remember DK actually made a whole 45-minute speculation video about this just based off of those couple screenshots. I didn't want to do that because I think it's way too hard to just kind of get a glimpse at a screenshot and kind of make an opinion on where you think they're going with the game. But I can definitely tell you what I want. Now I think one thing that made Mass Effect 3 so successful and made so many people fall in love with it was the multiplayer. And I think above all else, the main thing about the multiplayer that was great was the ability to actually play with all the different races. If you wanted to play as an Asari, you could. A Solarian, a Krogan, a Geth. It didn't really matter. Whatever you wanted to play as, you could play as, and it was such a fun experience. Now, I think you know where I'm going with this, but yeah, that would be the #1 thing I want to see in Mass Effect 4. The choice to play as anything you want. And I think it would be pretty easy to do that. They would just have to take an example from Dragon Age Origins. Now I know some people might say, isn't that just ripping it off? Yes, in a way, but I do think that it would be a lot better because it's going to be set in the Mass Effect universe, and I'll give you a great example. Let's say you want to play as a Krogan. Well, you're going to start on the Krogan homeworld, and there's going to be a whole little origin story about who you are, and then more than likely something bad's going to happen, and that's going to put you on this epic adventure. And once you get to that stage, that's when all the stories pretty much become alike, where it's pretty linear. You gotta go to this place and that place and save the universe. But I think that along the way it would be really interesting, because if you play as a Krogan, for example, you're probably going to interact a lot differently with Turians and Solarians, and maybe even other Krogans that might be jealous of you and they'll try to fight you or something. I don't know. Same thing with Turians, same thing with Solarians, and really any species that have some type of beef with other species. The interactions should be different, and there could be like little mini stories and extra side quests that you could go on because of who you chose in the beginning. I think that that would automatically make the game so replayable. You take any Mass Effect fan, and let's say they start as a Turian, they play the game, they love the game, they're going to automatically want to replay the game so that they can experience all the different origin stories and to experience all the different interactions throughout the game. I think that's a great idea right there, and they could really build off of that. Now you might be wondering, how could they make the story linear after a certain point? Well, I would have to say, look at Dragon Age Origins again. How did they do it in that game? Well, they made it so that everybody becomes a Grey Warden and they have to go on this epic adventure. In the Mass Effect universe, they could simply just say you become a Spectre, and now you're going on the epic adventure because of whatever happened on your homeworld, in your environment. So I think that that would be a really awesome thing. Now, I really hope that this is going to be a prequel and not a sequel. I feel like if it's a sequel, there's too many plot holes with Mass Effect 3 ending. That, and if it's on a next-gen console, there's no way that the game's going to know what you chose, because the hard drives are not connected. So the only thing they could do is make it so that in the beginning of the game, you could sit there and choose every option that Shepard would have chose. But what happens with the Krogans? What happens with the Quarians and the Geth? Things like that. I don't know, guys. I just feel like that's going to make the game so strange. So I really feel like a prequel is the best option for them. They can make it really cool. I mean, it could be before humans are even known to the other species, so there's no humans at all. That would be interesting. Could be about the Rachni Wars, could be about the Krogan Rebellion, could be about the First Contact War, or maybe just something else that happens that they never really talked about. Who knows? But I do think that that will be awesome, and a lot of Mass Effect fans would love that idea because that's the one thing that they've been craving for a long time. The ability to actually have a story-driven game about Asaris, Solarians, Krogans, Turians, Quarians. I mean, that just sounds awesome, and I would totally be down to play that. And of course, I also hope that they will expand the multiplayer, make that even better than before, and I think they can. I hope that they come up with a lot of cool new powers, a lot of cool new weapons, and I think that they're definitely going to be able to do all that. So that's pretty much my take on the matter. That's my wish list for Mass Effect 4. Remember, like I said, what I want and what they're going to do, two separate things. I don't know what they're going to do. All I can do is just hope, and that's what I've been doing for a very long time. But I really do hope you have enjoyed this. Make sure to like the video for me and favorite it, and of course you can comment in this video about other things you might want to hear my opinion on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a nice day, and peace out.